You'd be surprised what you can get away with when you're bribing the police. Hey there, kiddos, and welcome back to the channel. I'm Uncle Frank, and that you are having a great day. And in today's video, I'd like to sit back in my kind of squeaky chair, relax, and have a little conversation with all of you guys about card games. Specifically, I'd like to talk about digital trading card games and explain and hopefully make you guys understand why I'm not a huge fan of them and why I don't think you should be either. And it comes down to a very simple concept of if you cannot physically hold it, you do not actually own it. And this is a big... It's something I have really strong opinions about. I do believe that for your time, for your effort, and for your money, what you pay for should be things that you can physically hold and physically own at your convenience. Yes, I understand intrinsically the idea of paying for things like a digital video game or a digital license or DLC for a game even. I understand all that. But there's a bit of a difference when it comes to digital trading card games, digital collectibles. Because for what it is, okay, it is a money sink that does not see any kind of return. Digital collectibles, no matter what the card game is, this is not talking about any card game in particular. This is the idea of digital TCGs in general. In general, when you have a digital TCG client, you are paying money and time and you're giving effort and attention into something that you can never physically redeem and at any point can be taken away from you for any presumable number of reasons. This is the same issue I have with digital-only video games and digital-only media of any sort, movies, TV shows, etc. But I feel very strongly, especially given the context of the channel, about digital TCGs, especially when there's so many good alternatives for sometimes cheaper, sometimes much cheaper. You know, and yes, I understand most digital TCGs, they do have a way to play for free. I understand that, and I do understand that quite a bit. But these games are designed, most of them, are designed in such a way so that free players are inherently disadvantaged by the client against the players who pay money for it. And it doesn't have to be this way, okay? It's totally possible for game companies to design a digital card game that does give you physical rewards for accomplishing something within the game. Wizards of the Coast did it way back in the day with Magic Online. Yes, I know Magic Online is still around, but, you know, I don't know when the last time I heard about this happening was, but they had a redemption program where if you had so many copies of every card in a set, you could redeem them, turn them in for a physical full copy of the set. That's crazy. That's awesome. And I really liked that program. And then when Magic Arena came out, there was no equivalent of that program for Magic Arena. They only had it in Magic Online. And again, I have not heard about a Magic Online redemption in quite a while. I'm sure it might still be out there, but I haven't heard about it. Do people still play Magic Online? I imagine not. Ancient client. Ancient. Not even really supported by Wizards anymore, is it? But yeah, the same thing can be said for all the other digital versions of the other TCGs in the market. Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, etc. Those digital clients where you are paying real money, they're only giving you fake digital cards that you can't redeem for the physical stuff. And I think that's a shame because for that same money, you can get actual physical cards that you can enjoy. And yes, I understand there's the appeal of being able to play digitally with anyone on the planet through these platforms. And I also understand that for a lot of people, it's the price of convenience for playing with people across the world. And for what that is, that's fine. I'm not trying to tell you that you can't play on digital platforms. In fact, you should never listen to anyone on YouTube telling you that you can't do something and that you should do something else instead. But I am advising you to be aware that your time, your money, is worth something. And spending it on something that you can't ever own, ever hold in your hand, no matter how worthless the thing you're holding in your hand is, I feel like that's a shame, and I feel like that's just doing yourself a disservice. You know, let me give you guys a good example. Cat. This little guy. This is Blurry Beeble. It is a card from one of the unsets, Unstable. This card is virtually worthless. In fact, I would go out on a limb to say that it's probably worth less than a penny in terms of real value. Discord notifications, holy crap. Forgot to turn that off. This card is probably actually worth nothing. It's from Unstable. It cost me nothing because I buy Magic cards in bulk. And you know what? For the purposes of this video, you know, now it's actually worth nothing. Double nothing, right? But that was my card to do with what I wished on my own terms. I could have bought it, sold it, traded it. I chose to destroy it just to make a point. It was mine to destroy, not someone else's. When it comes to purely digital cards on a purely digital platform, that choice is not yours. You cannot, for the most part, buy, sell, trade, whatever the cards. It is the company behind that game that determines what is going to happen with your cards, not you yourself. And I'll say this again as many times as people need to hear it. I believe that when you are paying money for something that you cannot be the end-all, be-all decision maker for that thing, you are wasting your time and doing yourself a disservice. Simple as. So it's just something I feel strongly about. So for my part, I do not actively engage with digital-only games. I do my best to try and advise others to, hey, don't play that platform, play the real game, or play this other cheap game. You know, there's plenty of, especially if you're budget-minded, you know, there's plenty of really cheap games out there that are really affordable. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. Pokemon is, despite the perceived barrier to entry in terms of actually getting a hold of Pokemon, or even One Piece, the games themselves are surprisingly affordable, surprisingly easy to get into, and I just don't think it's again, with barring the exception of, hey, maybe it's the only way you have to play the game because you don't have a local group. It gives you access to the global player base. I understand that. I do. And I'm not trying to tell you, again, I'm not trying to tell you that you can't do it. It's just that I firmly believe that given the option between spending money on a digital thing or spending money on a physical thing, I will choose the physical thing every time. Okay? This is a bit of a shorter video, and I know it's kind of a negative video, but I really wanted to iterate, you know, why I feel the way I feel about these kind of things, and just kind of the mindset I have when I'm approaching some of the decisions I make. Actually being able to own the things you spend money on is a good thing. And those people out there who ride the slogan of "you will own nothing and be happy," I think those people are, well, I don't think they're right. I don't think they mean the best for people. So, whatever. It is what it is. If there's anything to learn from this video, buy physical. But that's all I got for you kids today. Thanks for watching. Please like, share, subscribe. Leave a comment down below. Do you agree with me, disagree with me? Do you think digital is the way of the future? I know it was for a bit. There was a bunch of people who were super into digital card games, especially Magic Arena. But I genuinely believe as more and more people become aware of the sunk costs for some of these digital games, I do hope that a lot of them will die off by the wayside as the physical card game market marches on. I'm rambling. Have a good day. Have a good day.